NNF After Dark is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. For all of your vacation planning needs, visit www.sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Welcome to NNF After Dark. Chris is going to take you through the highlights of the previous episode and maybe even say some bad words, plus celebrity interviews and much, much more. And now, here he is, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris Yob.
Welcome to episode 9 of No New Friends After Dark, during dark, whatever you want to call it. We call it After Dark. It is during dark. When you're listening to it, it's probably during light. I don't know. The last 2 weeks, I wouldn't say the last 2 weeks. The last week and a half, we had some serious conversations here. A couple weeks ago, my wife finally caught up. That was the that was the couples episode. And I gotta tell you what, I hate the gays. I'm sorry, excuse me. I hate the gaze that she gave me when she walked in the door and said, I can't believe you talked about me like that when I wasn't even in the house, when I was not even in the house. Wow. So that...
So it did not go well for you?
No, I am broadcasting live from my parents' basement right now. I wish I was in the Sandpiper Studios, virtual Sandpiper Vacation Studios. I'm not. I don't even know where I am right now. I'm not even on our Wi-Fi. I'm stealing my neighbor's Wi-Fi because I don't even know what the login is. She blocked me from everything.
Well, we're all in the Sandpiper Vacation Studios, so it's fine.
Okay, by association, I am.
Yes, by association. It's kind of like Sarah is Spanish by insertion.
Insertion. Oh, by opposite of insertion, right?
Yeah, yours is way opposite of insertion.
Yes, subsertion. So,
desertion.
So now I know that I have a 2-week buffer period for when I make a joke on this podcast about my wife. If you're in the doghouse like me, you can relate. No, I don't know. So anyway,
I thought you were going to transition. I was like, is he going to transition to a sponsor? Is there a new sponsor that I don't know about? If you're in the doghouse like me, visit BarkBox. Just go to our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com, and check out those exclusive offers.
Scott loves the BarkBox. He also loves the company BarkBox, which is one of our affiliates.
It is.
Yes, it is one of our affiliates. And you just go to our website. I'm not going to tell you how to get. I'm not going to tell you all the. Listen. The codes they give us are like 40 characters long. Just go to our website. We got like 60 different affiliate
links. There's unique links. Yeah,
exactly. Listen, if you like something, we probably are affiliated with them. Just go to our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com.
Chris, if they like racist, are we affiliated with the Klan?
Well, you'd have to go to Scott's personal email for that. He might have some some affiliate links for you. Oh God. I'm affiliated with Black Lives Matter. If you want to reach out to me, Scott. If you Scott's affiliated with I don't know, it's crazy, called Black Lives Don't Matter.
Oh my
Scott's
God!
Affiliated with. Jeez, Scott. Oh my God.
We did this whole episode last week about love, and now we're spewing hate. Listen, Tucker Carlson, calm down.
Scott's not affiliated with them. That's just the town he lives in. Or it's a slogan, right? I don't know. Anyway, so this week, total 180 from what I'm talking about. We're talking about love this week, because in the previous episode that we just recorded, No New Friends episode, Scott, insert episode name or title here or number here. Oh, I say that as he takes a sip of his beer. Scott, what episode did we just record? What number? I know you know.
148.
148. Wow, 2 away from 150. Big episode.
Big episode, big guest.
We talked about. What did we talk about, Scott? We talked about the talk.
The talk, yeah.
We talked about the talk, the birds and the bees, the coming to age story, I'll tell you when you're older. Now you're older, so I'm telling you story. And you know what? We kind of talked about this on the phone a little bit, and you said gonna talk about how my daughter experienced her first menstruation. And I'm like, don't know how that's gonna land, Scott. I'm afraid to make a joke about that. I'm afraid to even touch that material. And I'll tell you what, it went like really well. It was tasteful, it was genuine, and it was fun. It was funny. Now, what I want to talk about now will be the total opposite. I don't want to be tasteful. I don't want to be genuine. I don't want to be. I do want to be funny. So I want to do a little round table discussion. When and what was your experience with the talk? Was it weird? Was it at school? Was it from a friend? Was it in first grade, like me, when someone told me that two girls just lay naked, stomach to stomach with each other? Yeah, oh yeah. My parents were pissed, Nick. My parents were pissed. Oh yeah, my parents.
Who told you in first grade?
Oh,
Nick, I blame you. It was you, wasn't it?
I was like 25 when he was in first grade.
I don't want to say her name, but Olivia did teach me what the birds and the bees were.
What else did Olivia teach you?
Listen, nothing physically. All just talk. It was first grade, man. No one's doing any of this. I'm like, that's interesting. It's not hot. It's interesting though. It's talking about like guy and a girl lay belly to belly. The woman's organs just suck in the men's organs. That's how she explained it. Just gets sucked in, right? And then I didn't learn about anything else then. I kind of figured that was how it happened, right? You lay belly to belly, naked, right? And then a baby is made somehow during that process. Didn't know how, didn't know all the details. But yes, first grade, maybe second grade. It could have been second grade. Still way too. Emily just got up out of the bedroom to get something, and she's giving me the gaze. The gaze that I got after the Sean in chat says that's horrific. There was a lot of therapy after first grade, Sean, or lack of, that led me to therapy in my 20s. Yeah, thanks, Olivia. But so I learned about the birds and the bees from a classmate in first grade. It was interesting. I just say it was interesting. So, did you guys learn the traditional way? Did you guys ever have to do that? And that's the other question I have to. Did you ever have to do that? I see this on TV all the time. Did you ever do the condom on the banana thing in health class? Was that a thing?
No. I've got 57 kids. Clearly, I didn't learn how to use a condom.
Like you were in a safe.
I remember watching the video in 5th grade where they separate the boys and the girls, and they taught the girls something, and I still don't know to this day. I found out apparently on the podcast that you recorded earlier what actually happened with the girls there. So. I don't remember much about the video talk. I just remember they're like, oh, wear deodorant and stuff. But I remember in 6th or 7th grade, our health teacher, she was like the hot health teacher, the hot teacher that everybody loved. She taught us how it.
Wait, hold on. Was this a dude or a chick?
A female.
Okay.
Like I thought she was attractive too.
Okay. Gaze touch boobs.
Gaze touch boobs. So she taught us that a penis is like a Twinkie. If you squeeze it hard enough, the cream filling comes out.
Oh,
that was my key takeaway, and I've not put a Twinkie down ever since. got a box sitting right here.
Oh my god.
While you were telling that story, Nick, my wife did just come in and tell me her story in 30 seconds, which is all she needed. Didn't want to know any more than 30 seconds. She learned when she was 7 years old.
I have a lot in common with sex in 30 seconds.
I was hoping you were going to say you had a lot in common with sex and being 7 years old. So she was 7 years old. Because she was 7 years old, and her neighbor taught her what sex was with a life-size Barbie doll. The neighbor demonstrated by having two of the dolls hump each other, and that's how babies are made. So 7 years old. So I think we got the record. Can anyone beat 7? Can anyone beat 7 years old?
Sarah, you had to have beat 7.
No, definitely not. But my parents are both in the medical field, so it wasn't traditional. but it was very factual.
Oh.
You know, so my mom sat me down and then my dad came in with this look like, I really do not want to be doing this right now. And he sat me down and he's like, so I have to tell you medically from a man's standpoint that this is how this happens and whatever. But definitely the look on his face the whole time was like, I do not want to be here. I do not want to be doing this right now. This is awful.
So you're saying your mom or your dad came in
It was very technical.
and starts talking to you about it? Like separately. And then
Like my mom talked to me and then it took my dad a long time to come back
How
to
old-
me about his part. I'm not talking like a couple, hours. I'm talking
and
weeks.
and
It
how
took
old
him
were you? Just roughly.
probably like preteen.
Okay, so like 12-ish. All right, when'd you meet
Yeah,
Lewis?
somewhere
Just
around
curiosity.
there.
No, it's unrelated. When'd you meet Lewis?
24 I was.
All right, so then 24, Lewis came and then just never stopped coming.
Oh my goodness. Well, I would say that's a good sign.
Scott, back. So while you were in between your nuclear drills during the Cold War in school, duck and cover, did they teach you sex ed or was it taught at home for you? Scott, when you were growing up, wasn't sex a sin?
Yeah, I mean, it was. No, I went to Catholic school, so
Right.
it was. We were only taught sex before marriage, or sex after. Sorry, sex before marriage with the priest, but sex after marriage with you have to be in love and married, and then you have the sex. Actually, they never really said anything in love, just married, which is marriage.
Right.
Yeah, so
No love, right?
Yeah, but no, actually, I didn't learn any of that in school. I learned it at home. In fact, last night Rachel said, "So what happens is you." It didn't even work that time. That's fine. Alex, cut that out. No, what's funny about my story is we were on a road trip with my family, and I was in middle school.
That's
so
disgusting.
she was hot. It's fine.
Your cousin?
Look,
a family road trip?
I'm not from Alabama. It's
true.
okay. Yeah. So
kind of.
Florida. Anyway, I'm in Central Florida, and so Central Florida is blue. We don't
different.
believe in all that, hate
Right,
stuff.
right.
So I was trying to be funny, and I was doing, Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts, and there was like 10 of them that I had, and then it was Always in the Bathroom by Jack Sofalot.
Wait,
And
I have no idea. Wait. Am I the only one who's totally lost?
I was making jokes in the car.
These
Under the
okay.
Bleachers by Seymour Butts, like book titles.
How old are you?
Are you not paying attention?
When you started talking about the incest, I forgot how old you said you were. You said family. You said you learned how to have sex on a family road trip, and then it just my mind wandered. I did not hear how old you were.
Okay, so I'm in middle school, and I'm making jokes about book titles, and I say Under the Bleachers, Seymour Butts,
Fitting.
Always in the Bathroom, Jack Sofalot. Okay, and we're on the freeway. My dad slams on the brakes, and I don't know. All of a sudden now we had two different cars. I don't that part of the memory is a little bit blurry to me as far as how many cars did we have, because I thought we were all in the same car, and then he's like, "Well, I'm going to take Scott in the car," and we had this whole conversation, and that's when the talk happened, and he's like, "Well, do you know about that?" I was like, "Well, yeah, my friends talk about it." He's like, "Do you think any of your friends are having sex?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, we don't really talk about that. I mean, some of them probably joke about it, but I don't know. And then I had to read the book of where babies are made. And there was this, it was like they bought this, someone gifted them this book when I was born and said, "Here, show him this when he's ready." And it was like, it was like one of the golden books of where babies come from.
The Bernstein Bears explain sex.
The Bernstein Bears explain sex. Exactly. It was this really weird situation, but
Nick, you've read that book, right?
I know. I'm like, it all makes sense now. I'm like, I love the drinks. I love the bears. It just clicked.
So that's kind of how the talk happened for me.
That's interesting, Scott. So you kind of brought it on inadvertently.
Yeah. Now I don't talk to my parents because I don't know what other talks they're going to talk about. So I have no idea how to balance a checkbook. So if I could share the story of when I had to have the talk with my son.
Oh, please.
Okay. So if you remember last week in the mostly serious episode that we talked about how like parents don't have that talk with their kids. They just let them watch the video. So you can allow the school to parent your kid when it comes to sex education, but you can't, let them parent they can't say gay. Anyway, so I didn't have the talk. I didn't talk to him about it. None of that stuff because I was like, the school's got it. No big deal. I was a shitty parent.
Sure.
So
you said it, not me.
Right. So I'm driving one day and my son would borrow my car.
So you're giving the tradition. You're giving the tradition.
Yeah. The strangest things happen in the car. It's weird.
It's like they're trapped.
I say, this sounds like a National Lampoon movie.
Oh, no, it is. So like my son would use my car because he just got his license and all that, and he was going to visit his girlfriend, whatever. So one day, and I don't remember how I found it, but I'm like putting my Diet Coke or I'm taking a Diet Coke out or whatever, and there's a corner of a condom wrapper sitting in my car, and it wasn't mine because God knows I don't have sex. So it's like, yeah, this is this would be his.
Wait, he's having sex in your car?
I don't know. No
one's just leaving a wrapper.
Well, probably. It probably was in the car. And
that's awesome, first of all.
I know, right? Kudos to him.
First of all, congrats on the sex to your son.
What kind of car is this now?
It's a Hyundai Tucson. Wow. It's an SUV. Yeah.
Lots of room.
Lots of room. Third row.
It's better than Sarah's Kia.
Tight spaces work wonders sometimes. Okay. Have to vouch for the Kia.
So I see it and I'm like, oh, okay. So I do so I'm driving him to school one day. Was
it name brand, Scott? Was it name brand, the condom?
I don't. Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
That's important, man.
Trojan. I'm sure.
Good.
So I don't remember. This was a long time ago.
Well, he's trying to say it's the difference between grandchildren and no grandchildren.
That's true.
Really what it is.
That's true. Yeah. He pulled out, which is exactly what I told my parents when they found out that we were pregnant with Darren. Anyway, so we're in the car and I had hidden because I knew I was going to talk to him about it that day, and I had hidden it, and so we're talking, and I unhid it and I held it in my hands and just held it up.
Oh,
and I didn't say a word. I just held it up.
You are a shitty parent.
And he's like, it's only happened one time. And I'm like, dude, I'm not mad at you. You're 17 years old. And I'm like, wait, it's only happened one time and I find the wrapper in the car. So your one time was in the car? Hashtag my car, by the way. But your first time it was supposed to be special and romantic and candles and all that stuff. He's like, nah, we just wanted to bang one out.
That's amazing.
Like, well, good for you.
So Scott, when you see that, first of all, he's your son, not a daughter, right? So
right.
I feel like you have totally different emotions, which kind of.
Oh, it's a complete double standard. I've told my daughters they're not allowed to date until they're married.
Right, exactly, because you're so defensive about your daughters, right?
Yeah.
You claim you're a girl dad, so I mean, your son's not even your son; it's just your friend, right?
He's just there. Yeah.
It's just he's just your best friend. So it's you see that, and it's as your best friend, it's nicely done in the car. That's awesome. And you didn't even think to get rid of it. You didn't even put it in a pocket. You just throw it in my glove box. Hey, Dad, can I borrow the the car for the weekend? That's pretty cool. Like just knowing that, like that's probably a special time for you, knowing that your car was the place.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Kind of gross, a little gross, but pretty cool too.
Right. So look, here's the thing: is
how much
had
was the detail, Scott?
Well, my wife paid for it. I have no idea. So, it's really funny. We've been doing this podcast with Chris for about 2 years, and Chris has a new laugh. It's like as soon as he got fat, he started.
I think
wheezing.
that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like
it's like the fat is collapsing in on your lungs.
Yeah, it's a little alarming. I have listened back to it, and I've actually played it for my doctor, and he gave me 20 years.
Yeah, you're starting to smoke. Sound like me? Are you smoking a pack a day? No, so the conversation went really well. I didn't have that. Like he's 17 years old. I was having sex at 17. Oh shit! Spoiler alert, mom, dad. I was having sex at 17 years old.
I mean, that's the age of consent in Florida. It's like 14, isn't it?
16.
It's weird you knew
let's
that.
not make jokes about that.
I knew that too. If it's any better.
I did my own research.
That was a very quick response there.
Sorry, that's my story with my son. It was a good conversation. I was like, look, I'm not mad at you. I'm glad you used protection. Like, good for you.
Sure.
And I'm like, but you also lied to me. I was more pissed that he lied the day before because I had asked him if things were getting serious, because I wanted to be able to have a mature grown up talk with him about it. Like, here's a box of condoms that I'm not using because my wife won't touch me.
They're expired.
I think they're probably expired, aren't they?
Buyer beware.
It's really funny because every time we do run out of condoms, my wife's like, why don't you just buy them from Costco or from not Costco, from
No, we don't
Amazon,
go there.
from Amazon. And I'm like, because they're like 36 packs. And she's like, so? And I'm like, that's going to take us 10 years to get through. Like, they'll be expired.
So
She doesn't like that joke.
So, because it's not a joke. So we went through all our issues, right? Now we got to do the gay angle, Nick. Listen, you're in school. When did you? When did you realize you were gay? What age, approximately?
He said like 5 years old. He said that a couple times.
Right. Well, that's what
A couple
I'm getting
episodes
at, right?
ago. I was
Right.
like
No, that's what I'm getting at.
6. Yeah.
So we've established that like the talk is kind of like in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Like around there,
Yeah.
right? So you're sitting in health class and they're teaching you, all right, this is what you do. Well, aren't you kind of like, well, what the fuck do I do? Like
I still don't know where babies come from. Like we have a daughter.
The stork dropped her off.
Yeah.
A very strong stork dropped her off.
We've been trying for years to have our own baby. And like, I don't know if I missed a day of health class or.
Sean's got like 70 babies in him by now. He's gonna have 70 tuplets. So
Yeah, like I don't remember anything. Like, I mean, nobody talked about being gay back in the 90s.
yeah, I guess that's true. Now, the one
Well,
thing
until
is,
Magic Johnson got HIV, and then it was wait.
I think it was
No, he wasn't gay.
different.
Never mind. Sorry.
No, I think
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid of gay people after that. So
Yeah, that's true.
Very dark turn.
Cut
We'll take a
that
break.
out.
We'll be right back. So I feel like, okay, so you have a son. We're talking about you have a son. Oh yeah, yo, congratulations. But you have that fear. You have that fear that your son's gonna knock some girl up, right? Then you have a daughter, and you have a fear that she's gonna get pregnant, right? Nick, Sarah, Scott, me. You have a gay son. It's like, wow, this is great. This is like, hey,
Nothing
no.
to worry about.
Chris,
No worries,
I am
right?
praying that my daughters decide to be into women. Like, I'm just hoping and
It's like-
praying.
Right? It's like whatever. Like,
It's almost easier. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, okay, you have so many.
When I
kids.
graduated
pros. Oh my God.
I graduated high school with 180 people. We had
Mhm.
15 babies. 15 kids that I went to school with had babies. That's
That's
Wow.
a
a lot of
very
it.
high birth rate.
And I'm
Among
38 now, and I'm
high
seeing
school.
these kids like in college already, and I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
That's yeah. See, like it's like you always ask, like, oh, what if your child was gay? How would you deal with that? Well, first of all, it's like okay, but second of all, it's like I deal with it great because now you don't have to worry about. First of all, the talk. No, there's no more talk. It's just like, hey, go get him, Tiger. Go have fun. It's like there's no stress anymore because the
Yeah, it's
talk's
like, I mean,
really-
even when Sean and I got together, like, I don't think my mom ever thought she was gonna have a grandkid from us.
yeah, right. And then that's the surprise. Like, hey, guess what? We have a kid now. It's like, oh my gosh, this is even like now. First of all, no accidents. Now I have a grandkid. It's like the blessings just keep on coming. So it's kind of like, yeah, you know what? What if your child is gay? Well, you know what? I hope. Listen, they take a lot of stress off my shoulders. Funny statistic. Speaking about gay individuals, the rate of people being gay has gone up. Have you seen this chart, Nick? Have you seen this? 1 out of every 5 Gen Zers claims they are gay. Have you seen this?
I've not seen this.
People are saying like, bigots are saying like, it's the media, it's the, the Ron DeSantis supporters might say it's the schools perpetrating gayness, and then maybe people who think soundly, I think, well, maybe now it's tolerated. So now people, when they're asked if they're gay, like, yeah, no, I am gay, and then now the rates are going up. I thought that was pretty interesting. Because Elon Musk actually commented on this today, and one of the smarter things that Elon Musk says is like maybe it's just tolerated more. Maybe we just tolerate this more now. I don't think it's a
Tolerate or
contagion.
accept?
Okay, all right. You want to put words in my mouth, Scott? Listen.
No, you said the words. You
Listen,
said
listen.
tolerate.
Tolerate me.
Listen,
Are you
listen.
are you from Florida?
I've been
Listen,
hanging out
Nick,
with
we
Scott too much.
tolerate you now.
I know. He just tolerates. We're not friends anymore because he doesn't like Daisy Duck. I found out earlier. So
I don't. That's a
Daisy's a gay icon.
hard. I didn't know that.
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
know that.
I didn't know.
I just made this up. But
Oh,
See, you're making up. He's throwing shit.
You're-
now.
I mean, how many statistics? I say 48% of statistics are made up.
I everything I said for the last 45 seconds wasn't even real. I just need to fill in some time. I don't even follow Elon Musk on Twitter. First of all, the word tolerate. Probably shouldn't say that anymore.
No,
I think I've been listen. I got to keep up with Florida news on a Disney podcast. It's probably where I picked up that word from. I don't. So what do I do? So I don't tolerate. I accept.
Well, you're also drinking box wine.
That's
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah.
where the toleration.
And
comes from.
as I said in Schitt's Creek, it's about the wine, not the label.
There you go.
See?
There you go. Yeah,
Oh. I think that's
So-
a good thing
that's beautiful.
for me, right?
it is beautiful. So speaking of Daisy and the gay icons or whatever, so I was actually just having this conversation with my wife before we came up to record. I said I want to be the gay icon podcast, because if you look about it, all of the major gay icons, Judy Garland, Liza Minnelli.
Whoa, wait,
Yeah,
wait.
Judy Garland.
Yeah, what?
Hold on, let me finish my point. Judy Garland,
No, she's-
Liza Minnelli, Dolly Parton,
Cher,
trying to think of some
Gaga,
Cher, all of these,
Britney.
Catherine O'Hara, Lady
Allies?
Gaga, none of them are gay, but they're huge
allies.
gay icons.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, huge gay icons. So I want to be the gay icon podcast.
Judy Garland? Is that because she's saying "Somewhere Over the Rainbow"?
So, backstory about Judy Garland. She's the reason we have Pride.
She's what?
She's what?
She's the reason we have gay Pride.
Why?
So-
Can you explain that? I'm really curious about this.
So you might hear, I guess you don't really hear it much anymore. It used to be a kind of a code terminology in the gay world of, are you a friend of Dorothy? And that's because
Because of the rainbow?
No, because she, and I don't want to mess up the story, so sorry, gay community, don't hate me. But she was involved with the Stonewall riots back when
Really?
all that started. So she was.
Now, I'm
I
not-
did
Oh,
hear she did a lot. She was like one of the first big name people to do any work in at the time the gay community, because there was no the letters. It was just the G spot. community.
right. It
Um,
was just
gay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can say gay.
back then. It
And
was
then as a
just G, dude.
result, her daughter, Liza Minnelli, was also
Wait, Judy Garland's daughter's Liza Minnelli?
Yes.
God, you're
Yes.
so young.
Oh my goodness gracious.
yes,
Oh my god. You gotta stop complicating this. First of all,
just like hold on, Tony Curtis and
don't even
Janet
know
Leigh,
who that is. Don't know who that is either. I'm sorry.
Spartacus
Don't know what that is. The actual Spartacus from the Roman ages?
from the movie,
No,
and
I'm
then
sorry.
Janet Leigh from Psycho,
Oh, I feel
the movie Psycho.
I feel like a newborn baby.
Their daughter is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, that does
Tony
nothing
Curtis
for
also
me.
a gay icon.
I'll tell you what,
And-
though. You're making things too difficult because Judy Garland sang the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Could have just stopped there. It could have just stopped there. The friend of
No.
Dorothy thing would have made so much more
So,
sense if it connected to that.
When you go on your cruise, you'll
Okay.
see now it says like LGBTQ meetup. So pretty much all the cruise lines, Royal Caribbean and Carnival, have essentially a gay meetup every night. At the
Could
bar.
I go to that, Nick?
You can go.
That'd be
It's
weird.
open to everybody.
It wouldn't be weird if I went.
No, it's open to everybody. It's not
awesome.
like anything formal or anything. It's just a nice social hour. So the
Sure.
the cruise ships have one for Alcoholics Anonymous and then the gay community. But it used to be called Friends of Dorothy on Carnival.
Really?
And I remember going on a cruise when I first came out to my family, and I had to explain to my family, I'm like, hey, I'm going to this happy hour thing. This is what it is. So every time they saw this hot guy, they're like, is he a friend of Dorothy's? Is he a friend of Dorothy's? So
That's so interesting. So
Yeah.
okay, so you have all these different. First of all, I have to look out for these meetings. You have the Alcoholics Anonymous, and then the Alcoholics Public, which used to call the LGBTQ meetup.
yeah. Basically,
Nick, I see how you party.
yeah.
I
It's
see how
like-
you party.
We started radio as alcoholics, I guess.
See, that's why I fit right in. Okay, that's seriously, that's good to know. Actually, so
Yeah.
there's these meetups. So that's it might sound weird for me to ask, like, oh, well, I'd be accepted there, but it's serious. Like, if can just anybody go? You know,
Anymore, it's open. So when we went on Royal Caribbean last year for the first time, they held it in the piano bar, which was also the same time the piano player was playing, and there was like all these old people, old couples in there. And it's not like we have labels or anything saying like, hey,
sure, right.
we're here for the gay happy hour. But if your radar went off.
Yeah. So, do you come across? So you go to these meetups, I assume. Do you come across straight people going to these meetups at all?
Yeah, all the time. You get
Oh, awesome.
it's a fun, supportive, just social hour type thing.
That's cool. Yeah, because I am going on a Royal Caribbean cruise, as you probably know, because you booked it.
I hope I know.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna look out for this. Is something I'm gonna look out for.
Yeah.
Where can you find something like this? I'm genuinely curious now.
It's usually listed in the app, whatever is going on for the evening. So
Oh,
usually,
gotcha. So yeah, Royal Caribbean sponsors it. Like, it's run by them.
yeah, it's not like an official meetup or anything. It's very like low key, just like if you want to go.
It's like a hangout. Like, if
Yeah.
you want,
This is where all the gays are at this time.
Right. This is where the party is, essentially.
Since Grindr doesn't work on the cruise ship, you have to actually meet people.
That's awesome. So if you want to party, go to the LGBTQ plus meetup. That's really what it comes down to. I've seen how your meetups go, Nick, and they're nothing less than like a rager.
We've had really fun times at them. Actually, we've met some good friends from it. We met some crazy guys that you're like, oh crap, we're stuck with you for 7 days.
I'm
Stage
surprised
5
you remember.
clingers.
I'm surprised you remember them, given all the alcohol you guys consume.
Yeah, we drank a little bit. I was a professional alcoholic for years.
I'm striving to be like that, Nick.
I got paid to go to meetings.
All right, Scott, I'm the host of this thing, but I need to ask for your permission. Should we go to break?
As the producer of this show,
Hope you guys enjoyed the Birds and the Bees talk with us. You guys want to know more about that? Don't ask Scott. He won't know. Probably reach out to Nick. But coming up next, we have a very, very fun interview with, well, you know what, Scott, let me kick it over to you so you can explain, because you were the interviewee.
yeah,
Sure.
I interviewed Nick from the Movie Theater Time Machine. It's a really fun podcast that him and his wife and 2 friends do, where they go back in time and talk about all things movies, and each week is a specific movie, but each month is a specific genre. Like they did a National Lampoon's month. They did a Robin Williams month. And it's super fun. And they do this really cool, fun thing at the end of each episode where they recast it. But they don't just recast it with other actors. They recast it with Muppets. So it's a really, really fun interview. I really enjoyed talking to him and learning more about his podcast. So that is Nick from Movie Theater Time Machine coming right up.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey everybody, it's Scott from the No New Friends podcast. If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
Welcome back to NNF After Dark. I am joined by a special guest. We've got Nick from Movie Theater Time Machine podcast. Nick, how are you this evening?
I'm wonderful, man. Thank you very much for inviting me, man. It's going to be great.
Of course. First of all, it's always great to have other podcasters on here because it's such a passion of all of ours. Yeah. You know, if I can help promote another podcast and just have cool conversation, I always love doing that. So thank you for being here. So you're
my pleasure, man.
Man, absolutely. So you're a movie nerd like me.
Yeah.
So tell me, we kind of talked about this a little bit off air, but tell our listeners kind of all about your podcast and what you guys do.
Okay, yeah. So Movie Theater Time Machine, the show where we keep it real to real. You know, we celebrate movies when it was on movies, all the way back from when, we have a review of the very first movie ever done, all the way down to just about 2010. So we get together each week. It's 4 nerdy people talking about film when it was on film, celebrating history, making fun of the actors. And then what we have is a thing called fantasy casting, where we try to turn it all upside down.
Oh.
And, towards the end is the titular segment of what we do. And most of the time what we do is to try to make sure if we could change all the actors to Muppets, how would the movie go?
Okay.
Yeah, that always brings that same face out. It always brings out some joy.
Right.
So it's fun. It's great.
That's what. So what of all the movies that you've discussed, what was kind of your favorite Muppet recasting that you did?
The best Muppet recasting we ever did was actually very recent. It's been a little while since we did this one, but Casablanca.
Okay.
And just having Ingrid Bergman would be Miss Piggy. I just, but Rick, why? Why? And Kermit, I've done a thinking for both of us, and you're going to get on that plane. Oh, no, but I love you.
Oh.
I just, that was probably the best one. And I mean, it stemmed from a few years ago where probably one of our, a cast favorite movie of all time is The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Of course, one of the greatest Muppet movies of all time.
Yeah, one of the greatest movies, period.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, one of the greatest movies, and I mean, why it's so good is you have all the Muppets playing these cool characters, and then you have Michael Caine.
Right.
Just being Michael Caine, playing it deadpan and beautifully. And then we're thinking, okay, what else could we do with all the Muppets but one person? So imagine if you would I'm just going to pull a random movie right now, but Keanu Reeves in The Matrix everybody is a Muppet except for Neo.
Okay.
And just rallying on that thought of just saying, okay, you have Morpheus as Fozzie Bear.
I love it.
Or,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm already loving this.
Fine, you go ahead and you take the red pill and you stay right where you are. Or or probably more Grover. More than anything.
Maybe Grover. Yeah. Or Sam the Eagle.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Sam
yeah,
the Eagle,
right.
because very serious. I don't know. That would be, and I don't know if you guys do this already, but that'd be a fun idea if you already had kind of a script ready, an excerpt from that movie, and as you recast it, you perform that scene as those characters. Or do you already do that?
No, we usually kind of joke about it a little bit and do that, but we've never really put a script together. And and did what we did. And recently, I did an interview. This is an exclusive for you as well for NNF here.
Okay.
So recently I interviewed Bennett Yellen, the guy who wrote the Dumb and Dumber movies.
Oh wow!
And I got to read my Harry and Lloyd fan fiction with him.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a silly, stupid, 3-page thing. And I thought about it, and I had a friend of mine work with me at work about it. And they were like, okay, I'm going to do this. And he absolutely loved it, which was good for us.
Sure.
But it actually put the thought in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe I got to do a little bit of this and just kind of be a little silly for the sake of silliness. But it's a really good idea, actually. I think we got to incorporate that.
Yeah, I think that'd be cute. That would be fun. And that would be something I love built-in segments to podcast where it's it's something to look forward to. Right. For us, we do Jersey Man versus Florida Man every week, where one of our listeners brings us 2 news stories and we have to guess, is it Jersey Man or Florida Man? Because 3 of us are from Florida and 1's from Jersey. So it's a super fun segment. It's super fun to do. So, and everybody looks forward to it. So back
I love that, man.
On the Muppets. Yeah. So, okay, Muppet movie or Muppets Most Wanted? Which one's better?
Muppet movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
We have a listener that is hardcore Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah. I think Muppets Most Wanted had a lot of heart to it. However, a lot of the newer stuff is out of the realm of it. So for us, like me, I'm 38 years old, and I can remember Saturday morning or early in the morning watching Muppet Babies.
Yes.
And, and watching, my sister had a VHS tape of almost anything Disney owned, from 2005 all the way back since its creation. So watching the old 70s Muppets and, as a kid and doing that, and I think when you have Most Wanted or something there, I think it loses a little flavor because you have the people, that are a little bit older than me who maybe grew up with it and trying to, reignite that spark that's just not there.
Right.
So it's like, I am always a fan of a remake if somebody's really super passionate.
Sure.
One of the best, one of my favorite movies of all time is a movie by Cary Grant called Arsenic and Old Lace.
Yes, I've seen the play.
Yeah. You've seen the play?
Yeah.
Okay. So now here's something you may not know is Robin Williams was tossing around ideas of remaking that.
Really?
And playing the Cary Grant part.
Huh.
And this was something he was tossing around before he passed away. To me, that would have been a remake I would have been in the front row for.
Sure.
In an instant, because he could mimic the Cary Grant roles. Him doing that, and I could see, if he has in the movie, there's they pass by a graveyard, and in the graveyard, there's a tombstone that says, "Here lies Archibald Leach." Mm-hmm. Archibald Leach is Cary Grant's real name.
Right.
So one of the things I would love to see is if he walks by and says that he does the whole, song and dance, and you have "Here lies Cy Parrish."
Right.
Robin Williams role from 1 Hour Photo. And you're like, oh my God. You're like, it just are little digs into his old movies, something, or just somewhere where he just there's a little nod to toys in the background, but nobody acknowledges it.
Sure.
or Mrs. Doubtfire, or
Yeah.
something
God,
along
Toys.
the lines. And I mean,
What an obscure movie.
Yeah.
That was an obscure reference. I love that movie so much, but it's just such an obscure movie.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
It's just really bizarre and out of left field. And I mean, we did a Robin Williams month, probably 4 years ago now. I think it was it 2023. I have to keep reminding myself what the year is, man. And especially after all that time.
We
but
lost
I think it was
2 years essentially with COVID. So yeah,
exactly.
It's all confusing.
Exactly. Yeah. Which one of our co-hosts actually sometimes tries to float the theory that we're actually all 2 years younger than we are because we lost that period of time.
I'm down with that. And honestly, when people ask me my age, I forget that I'm 43. I'm like, oh, I'm 42. Because I missed a whole year. We missed a whole year.
Yeah, a year floating in limbo, which was really bizarre.
Right.
I mean, okay, I retired briefly at 36.
Right.
It was kind of fun sometimes, but anyway, we did a Robin Williams month, and I mean, we did Hook. There were several others that we did, and I mean, I love his really bizarre indie ones. And I mean, when I saw 1 Hour Photo, and I know he took a residual deal on that one, and took a much lower salary than what he usually did. I think it was off the top of my head. I think it was only $30,000.
Wow.
But I think I could be wrong.
Well, sometimes those residual deals will make you extremely wealthy. I don't know if 1 Hour Photo did it for him though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 1 Hour Photo, I mean, ended up being a damn masterpiece for a horror movie.
Right.
And I mean, the best one, residual story of all time is Forrest Gump.
Oh, of course.
Or Tom Hanks took $1. He took $1 on that, and he said he will take the entirety of the rest of it in residual to do it, because he believed so much in that script.
Yeah. Well, that's like George Lucas for Star Wars: A New Hope. Took almost nothing.
Exactly.
Took almost nothing from A New Hope, except he said, "I want all the merchandising." And I want everything from Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and
brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, I don't know if the man has children, but I think his great grandkids don't have to work.
Right, exactly.
On that one thing alone, I mean, which was a great decision. And I mean, there are several others like that, but I mean, when we did Robin Williams, and I think of those, the only rule we have when we really go through a movie is, was it in theaters?
Okay.
Was it in theaters itself? And I mean, we kind of broke that when we did the Sharknado series a few years ago. That's
an acceptable break, though, because those are iconic films that should have been in theaters.
Oh God! I mean, it's just and I think you can kind of consider it when we did The Room about 6 years ago. But that was one I really wanted to do for my birthday and just really see how bad the movie is. Have you seen that one? Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
I've not.
Good.
Yeah. The Room. Okay.
I mean, it is right. I had to for listeners of, NNF, for you guys anyone who knows Tommy Wiseau, I mean, this guy is just bizarre to even describe. He wrote, directed, catered, and funded and starred in the movie himself. The movie goes nowhere, but in order to review it, I found the room.com, and I had to email who was the guy, John at theroom.com. But it came back, and the email was in the cadence of Tommy Wiseau.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is Tommy Wiseau. There's no other way around it. You want to review my movie film? Please send link to your podcast. I'm like, what? Okay. So I sent it. I think you're funny. Okay. What is your address? The DVD is sent from John at theroom.com, and they have this DVD, and inside the DVD is a coupon for Tommy Wiseau branded underwear. I didn't ask for this crap,
right?
But I'm like, okay, I have this, and by the way, the DVD copy has been on Facebook to try to sell it for about probably 2 years now, and I mean, it's one of those. I think if I sell it, it's probably going to end up back in my closet somehow. Like a Twilight Zone episode. Okay, that's good. That's gone. Great. Boom. Or comes right back. Or like The Simpsons with the trampoline episode where it ends up right back in the backyard.
Sure. Right.
At every time, it's just that it's a curse that I bear at this point, but it does lead to many other shows.
I'm looking at the room on IMDb. It looks very campy.
It's hell campy, bro. It's
3.6 out of 10 stars on IMDb rating, but
that's generous.
it's that bad. But I love bad movies. I mean, Sharknado, such a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, like we recently, a few months back, under the guidance of my wonderful wife, we reviewed Troll 2.
Okay.
Ended up enjoying it more than I thought. Like, the point where it's so bad it turns around and becomes amazing.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure. Anything that's anything that's on Sci-Fi Network is like that. During Shark Week on Discovery Channel or whatever, Sci-Fi puts out all these terrible shark movies, and my wife and I, we don't watch Discovery Channel. We watch the Shark Week on Sci-Fi. We've got Santa Jaws, we've got Zombie Shark, and these movies are ridiculous. They are so bad, but we can't stop watching them because they're just so awful.
I'd hate to give a promo for this, but that is the Sharknado series in a nutshell.
For sure, but with really cool cameos, like amazing cameos.
Amazing cameos alone, number one. But I mean, when you get into the fact that you get into Sharknado 5, and just describing it alone to a coworker of mine at the time, they're like, "Oh, what's Sharknado 5 like?" I'm like, "Okay, they go to Europe. They end up seeing Stonehenge, which is a secret key that's kept sharks underground for years. And later on, they find that the whole thing could really be a time travel thing. And he meets his son, who is played by Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
Who has a 2-minute cameo, and they go off into the last movie, and it's about time travel when they start the Sharknado that started in the first place." He's like,
it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And by the way, in the 6th movie, Neil deGrasse Tyson plays Merlin. And like, was this just like a Family Guy quote where you just threw shit at the wall?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And just see what the hell happened, just throw it and keep going.
I would have loved to have been in the writing room because it was probably just like Mad Libs. They just wrote a script and put a bunch of adjectives and names on a board and just drew it out. That's how they came up with this script.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we need somebody to play a Tony Blair character to be the Prime Minister of England. Okay, sure. No one's available for that. We need a British actor, though. Can we get, Craig, can we get the guy who played James Bond? Let's go get James Bond. Who's going to be there? Chris Kattan.
Right.
Why? Yeah. But Daniel Craig's not available? No. His name is Chris Kattan.
It's so ridiculous. But it's so amazing. Sharknado 3 was probably my favorite, though, because I'm in Orlando, Florida. I worked at Universal Studios back in the day. So the fact that all of that is filmed at Universal is so cool. Even what's funny is because I recognize everything, when he's driving in Washington, D.C., and he pulls up to the White House, he's actually in the New York area of Universal Studios. They didn't go to Kennedy Space Center. They're on the top of one of the sound stages, and it's just superimposed. And it's so bad that, the shark on the roller coaster, come on. It's not how physics works at all.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So insane. Favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time? I mean, that is a very, very, very loaded question.
Of course it is.
Because the top 10 revolves a lot.
Sure.
But I will cheat and I will give you two. Because the favorite of all time classic ever is Harvey, starring Jimmy Stewart.
Okay.
And just because it's one of those that hits me every single time, a man who goes about town who generally isn't bothering anybody, but his best friend is an invisible 6'8" rabbit. Nobody, people question it, but I mean, my God, it is just a joy from beginning to end. And Jimmy Stewart is, I would want to see Jimmy Stewart at any given time, and I think he's the actor that we missed, especially my generation. He died in the mid-90s. But I'd say really the one that hits me personally the most, more modern, is Good Burger.
Okay.
That either gets two reactions, yay, or yeah, okay. Cool. Like, it really hits me a lot because it's just, I grew up around, Nickelodeon. I grew up around all this, and it was tremendous, and it still hits me every time because, again, it's like we talked about with Sharknado, the wackety weird that happens with Sharknado is also the wackety weird that happens with Good Burger.
Right, I get it.
Abe Vigoda lives in a Good Burger, and they try to hit him with shark poison. Goes in the water. What are you going to do with shark poison? Like, are you going to stab the shark, or are we doing some Batman thing where you have shark repellent?
Yeah.
And then Sinbad with his genie curse, where he ends up in every 90s film.
Right. But never in a movie called Shazam. That was just a Mandalorian effect.
No.
You have a lot of really, really cool episodes, and I can't wait to really dive into your podcast. Logan's Run, which is such an obscure, an old 1970s sci-fi movie. And then you do the National Lampoon movie, the vacation movies. Just, you're all over the place, and I love that.
It's superb, and we pick a theme every month to go into, and we did Logan's Run. I believe that was when we did, we titled the one Past Futures Month. And we looked into movies where, like, at the time they said it, like, it's in the far-off future of 1999. And meanwhile, we're sitting in 2021 going, that didn't happen. Yeah.
You can check out movie Theater Time Machine on all streaming platforms, correct? Do you have a website?
Yep. Easiest way to do it is our website, movietheatertimemachine.com. We have all the platforms that we're on there, including when you go on the website, there is a link to our YouTube page. I've got to actually dive in there, and I have to edit some videos of some interviews we did recently, including where we interviewed Larry Hankin, and he was just an absolute gem. And an amazing individual to chat with, and funny as hell. Including where he talked about a scene he was in with Breaking Bad, and he's like, I bet you didn't know I was only in there for 9 seconds. And you could see the video, like my jaw hit the floor and went back up, and walked to the back, went to the back of my head, just to give an idea of it, but and others that we did, but we do also, right in the front of the page, we have our interview with internet legend Brad Jones. Okay. The cinema snob, where we interviewed him and reviewed the movie Dolomite. And he was so damn nice, and I mean, he is an idol of mine. Just generally, his own style kind of puts together my comedy persona. But for us, I mean, for Movie Theater Time Machine, it really is a celebration of film. I mean, I firmly believe in celebrating movies when it was film, because there is very few things in my I had a good childhood. Personally, myself, I really did, but there are very few things that bring comfort to more than sitting in the movie theater and enjoying a communal experience of watching a good movie or watching a bad movie, and really getting that, like, even going from we've done a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, but even like recently watching the new Mario Brothers movie. That's the experience, and those are things that we take the time to look at, even going all the way back to things that are well before it, because the start of the show, when we first started this, we were only going to do black and white movies. That went away very, very fast.
Yeah, you'd be missing out on so many good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it started like a few months later, we're like, hey, how about we do a whole month of Mel Brooks movies? I'm like, okay. Okay. Let's just keep riding with this. Let's ride this train. And, but, that's us, man. That's us in a nutshell. I mean, it's a good time thing. And I mean, where I produce it, I mean, the journey when you take it, like, what we want to do is we try to give a good time in a really, like, where sometimes the world can be really awful. We want to turn on a podcast and you want to have people laughing, you want to have a good time and forget about things
Sure.
for a while. You know, while you're doing that, you go through that and you're like, you know what, I think I really want to check this movie out now that I heard these people talk about it. And then go from there. And I mean, dig into our back catalog, see the weird sketches we did. Back when we had a really weird announcer character named Max. And even, you know, going forward where we had for some time where we had we were sponsored by an adult website. And, you know, and just working in that bizarre ass promo.
That's cool though.
Our thing is just having fun. I mean, you can't not be in a good mood when you're hanging out in a movie theater, sitting there with a giant tub of popcorn.
Sure.
We all do that, you know, and just kind of enjoying that time. I'd like to also go into one story too that I think is really super important. Was Kaz and I took about a month ago, got involved with one of the great experiences I think I've ever had with a theater. I would really just want to advocate for Fathom Events.
Okay.
And I'm trying very hard to get them to be a sponsor on the show. So Fathom Events, which takes classic movies at the time of, you know, at their anniversaries or anything, throws them back in the theater for a night or two, you know, and go in there and experience that because you can see something. And we recently got the chance to watch Casablanca on the silver screen, and I got goosebumps just remembering this alone. And I mean, this was one of the movies that built the relationship, especially in my adult life, with my grandmother, who we lost last year.
Sorry.
And that, no, thank you. But you know, she made it to 96 years old and lived alone right up until the day she died. So I mean, she did great. You know, as the kids say, it's life goals. Like life goals. You know, but you know, she did what she did it well. But I mean, she introduced me to the movie, and I mean, it just engrossed old Hollywood for me. But watching that on the silver screen, even though I mean there was you know, there were the bars on the side. It was a little bit bizarre, but just seeing it, and there was like 10 other movie nerds around who were quoting it. And when they start singing, you know, the Tree of Versailles, and they're dancing, and the French national anthem starts playing, and everybody's banging the sides, and drinking the big gulp too, and doing their thing, and and it just enjoying that experience was amazing. Though I'd say really. Fathom Events, or there are many different versions of it that you can, if you see something in a local movie theater, because this is what's keeping movie theaters afloat.
Right.
You got all the streaming services, you got all the other stuff, and yes, you got Marvel movies and all that, and I can't take away from them because I enjoy them myself. But if you take that and you say, hey, I want to just see this thing besides watching it on streaming service or getting a DVD, go out and have fun with your friends, or take your partner out and take them on a date night, and just be there and just see that, because you see that experience. And I mean, we watched an 80-year-old movie 80 years after its release, the way it was meant to be. And it was like stunning. It was stunning to see it. I mean, I want to choke up just even thinking about it. But for me, I would say for that's my big passion plea to the world here. Please, and Fathom Events, if you are listening, MovieTheaterTimeMachine.com. We do have sponsor offers for you. If you'd like to go ahead and make a deal for you, we are certainly negotiable. Go ahead, MovieTheaterTimeMachine@gmail.com. We'll certainly go ahead and offer. Thank you.
Well, there you go. I'm sure that they listen to me.
But hey, we try, man. We try.
Exactly. Well, Nick, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. Everybody go check out Movie Theater Time Machine. If you have a big episode coming up down the road or whatever, and you ever want to promote it, feel free. You're more than welcome to come back on and let us know about it.
Thank you, Scott. I much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast After Dark. We'll be right back.
You want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to NoNewFriendsPodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Wow, that interview was super interesting. Can't wait to dig more into, or dive more into. Not digging up anything. No one's dead. Can't wait to dive more into that podcast. I love movies, man, and diving into those older movies, right up my alley. Speaking about being up alleys, Nick had a question for us that we talked about on break. So
yeah, I was just curious. I mean, we're talking about the birds and bees, talking about your son losing his virginity. When did you guys lose your virginity?
Ooh.
Oh, I am 42. No, I'm just kidding. I have 57 kids. So math doesn't work out on that one.
3 weeks ago.
Does my hand count?
He's like, I haven't yet.
I want to go to Sarah first because when did you and Lewis meet? Because I can only imagine that the two of you were only together with each other.
Lewis was my first and my last.
No, I was 24 when I met Lewis.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So
I
24?
was 24. Yeah.
Sarah's gonna plead the
So that
fifth.
day.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Sarah's
I'm going to plead the fifth on this one, I think.
Yes, and that's legal.
Oh,
That's legal.
okay.
That is a
That's allowed.
legal
That's allowed.
statement.
Okay. All right. Now, here's the question. So we asked when she met Lewis. The real question, though, about her virginity is, when did you meet Lewis's sister?
And how long did it take for your romance to?
No, that's funny.
blossom?
I actually met her and she was dating somebody at the time, a guy. And we all met together at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I was like super awkward. And at the end, I like gave her a hug because that's instinctual for me. And I guess after the fact, Lewis and her boyfriend were like, didn't they warn her that she doesn't like to be hugged or that you don't like to be hugged?
Oh,
And I was
oh
like,
my God.
crap. And it, yeah, it was even more awkward after the fact.
I have a similar story.
Oh,
I have
good.
a
I'm so
similar
glad.
story. So my wife, so my sister, my younger sister, is very protective over me. Very, very protective because I've been through a lot of shit. And so she wouldn't meet Rachel forever. Like it seemed like a very long time because she's like, no, I just want to make sure she's serious. And there was already like a little bit of a hatred there because we're all Florida State fans and Rachel went to UF and is a huge Gator fan. So there was already like that, like our family takes college football seriously. So there was already that. So my sister finally invites us over for dinner. And this is going to be the big meeting. And my wife is like really trying to impress her, makes this like awesome dip and does some, and goes to like Whole Foods or one of those like bougie hippie places with the organic shit. And she brings this like fancy gourmet cucumber salad. So we're doing dinner and all that. And there was alcohol involved. And then my sister informs my wife, she's like, I hate cucumbers, right? And that was the main dish that my wife brought was cucumber salad.
Horrible.
So anyway.
That's really bad.
But my wife and my sister are like you and Lola, a little less gay, but they're like sister wives. They're like best friends.
Yeah, we're like one notch above that,
Oh, I know.
borderline.
Sounds
Team
hot.
below?
No, yeah, below.
Did I say below?
No, I think you
No.
meant it though.
Above. I motioned this way and said the complete opposite.
Oh, I know. So anyway, before we go on to Scott and Nick, my virginity losing was at the age of 7th grade. My friend came over, Adam, and we met a fine lady named Lisa Ann. Google her. She was Pornhub's #1 actress for a record-breaking 86 weeks straight. And that's my story.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, listen, you met your wife in like 5th grade and dated.
Yeah, we've been together
since.
for like 45 years, and I'm not even that old.
Exactly. You guys were matched in the womb.
Now, Scott, I think I know your story.
Okay.
I think your story happened in the backyard of your parents' house. And if it didn't,
No, not when I lost my virginity. No,
that was just like for fun.
that was for fun. That was we needed to bang one out real quick.
It was so much easier back when we were younger to bang one out real quick.
Yeah, now I've got it. Now I've got to fucking do dishes and laundry and chores and say, look what I did and this and that and be all sweet and take her to dinner. It's a huge effort. You know, back then it was just, hey, you want to go in the backyard and yeah, let's do it. So I was 17, so the same age as my son. No big deal. That's the end of the story.
Oh, yeah, that's a good story. I respect that story, Scott.
Yeah.
Nick, your turn.
So
You better blow us away.
I was younger.
And speaking of blow, Chris
Speaking of
definitely
blow.
wants you to blow it away. That's what he said.
I was younger. I don't know if you remember a movie called The Titanic.
I do. You
So-
no,
Big
wait.
fan.
You had sex with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I wish. Let's just
He had
say,
sex
like,
watching Leonardo DiCaprio.
back when that movie came out, it came out on VHS and it came out on
Right.
2 cassette tapes.
Hold on, Nick. Chris, VHS is how we used to watch movies. It was this huge like VHS video tape.
Like a big
That we-
iPod? Like an iPod?
No, it was like a disc, but it was a tape. It was like this big.
Wow.
And we put it into a thing called a VCR and
Wow.
hit play.
Sounds
There was a
expensive.
huge tape thing. Which
Jeez.
gets us into a whole thing, cassette tapes, which
Yeah.
I know you don't understand either. But it was like a
There's always,
bigger
like-
version of a cassette tape,
Yeah.
which was just for audio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, you had 2 of them. Let's just say I didn't make it to change out to the second part of the movie.
Yeah,
So
it
don't
was
know
a
what
two-
happened.
Two
Don't know what
VHS
happened in this movie.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler
long
alert!
movie.
The boat sank.
But yeah, I was probably about 14, I think, at the time.
14.
And it was with a guy.
It was with a guy. Well, that's first of all,
so
that's
I-
awesome.
I'm a Gold Star gay.
I was just going to ask you: are you a
Yeah.
Gold Star gay?
I'm a Gold Star gay.
Wow!
Can you explain
Yes,
what a gold star?
please.
So a gold star gay, does that mean
So
like
Gold Star means I've never touched a vagina at all besides coming out of one.
good for
There's
you?
there's also platinum gay, where platinum is C-section.
Oh!
Oh my god.
That could be the funniest shit I've ever heard in my
Where
life.
you never touch a vagina at all.
Funniest
So-
shit. I've
There's
ever-
there's also
Scott,
gold star lesbians.
really.
Yeah, that have never
same thing.
touched a penis. Yeah.
So well, they're platinum. They're born platinum, right?
No,
Maybe
you can't
possible.
because it came out of the penis as the sperm. Okay, Chris. When a man and a woman love each other very much, okay, they hug. real
Remember
tight.
that talk that you had?
Yeah.
So even in the gay community, women still get the short end of the stick. They're none of them can be platinum. They're just
They
gold.
can never be
The
platinum.
men are always better. Now, Scott, are you gold or platinum? Were you C-section?
I actually was C-section, so I'm platinum.
Wow, you got our first platinum. Wow. Now, Nick, first of all, okay, so you're gold star. Do you know how many platinums do you know? Is that rare? Do you wear badges? Because I feel like I wear that like a badge of honor.
I feel like it should be like your like profile, like little thing in the corner maybe or something. I guess I don't know.
Like on Twitter, they have the whole new,
instead of
like,
the-
yeah, if you're
Instead of a little check mark.
verified,
Yeah.
yeah, it's now just platinum gay or gold. Even listen, gold star. I'm not gonna. That's impressive.
And my
That's
husband just
impressive.
commented. Sean just commented in the chat. He's kind of a bronze gay because he
Does
started
tan a lot? Or?
well, he used to, when we first got together, he worked at a tanning salon. He poked it in a little bit and decided nope.
Good for him too, though. He's a switch hitter.
He tried.
He tried. He gave it the old fashioned
College
shot.
try.
Yeah.
He didn't go to college. He just was drunk. And
He gave it the old high school try.
People
And,
like
and
Sean
if you're a
Piss-
priest, you gave it the old elementary school try.
Oh my goodness. Before we sign off for the night, I just did want to say that people like Sean do piss me off because they just get the best of both worlds. They just get to enjoy everything. So that should be like a different kind of badge. That should be what's above platinum, maybe diamond. You get the diamond badge, Sean, because you've walked both worlds. Scott's looking at me like I'm crazy. Sean has walked both worlds.
No,
Scott.
you don't get the star if you've walked both worlds.
No, but that's even more impressive. He's like Elton John status. Elton John was at orgies with like 70
Right.
different people.
But
Guys
okay,
and girls.
we are straight men. Well, I'm straight. You're mostly straight.
I'm mostly
You can't give out
85% straight.
stars because yes, of course you're going to give the diamond star to the best of both worlds.
Sure.
But that's not how it works.
I don't know. I think that he gets the Elton John badge, which I feel like is Elton John, man. He's having sex with everyone. Like he'd just be like, he doesn't care. Say, hey, let's have sex. And you see the movie? You see the movie Rocket Man? There's a whole
Yes.
scene. He's having sex with like 45 different people, guys, girls, animals. I don't know. He didn't care. He did not. He was just like, that's the diamond badge. I'm not saying animals. That's
Yeah,
that's
okay.
giving
The No
Scott too
New
much
Friends
credit.
podcast does not
Giving-
condone having sex with animals. It's a
actually,
joke that
actually, I don't. But
stop.
so anyway, what was I getting at here?
You ready
I
for
was just saying,
summaries?
congrats on the sex. that's all I'm saying.
The Titanic went down that night.
Oh my gosh, how old is Titanic now? Where's he at?
And does he live close to New Jersey?
Oh my god! All right, before I get arrested, Scott, do you have any summaries for us?
I have a ton. Buckle in.
God.
Thank goodness.
Some of these are mine. Some of them are stolen. It's fine. All right. So Chris said that at the very beginning of the episode that Emily finally listened to the episode and now he is in the doghouse. I am now also 35% gay. Chris, call me. Chris talked about getting the talk when kids have hit of age. Chris has never received the talk because his dad still thinks he hasn't hit the age. He's a little underdeveloped. Chris talked about this little girl who told him all about the birds and the bees in first grade. And Chris was so disgusted. Chris, is that why you're gay? This is an awkward one for me to talk about because I'm about to tell everybody something that nobody knows about. So, Chris, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell your secrets right now. We spoke about the KKK. Okay.
Oh my god!
Chris was actually affiliated. He is affiliated with the KKK. He was seen in the KKK. No, okay, calm down, Sarah. Not the Klan. That's his bra size now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god! That was a good one. That was a good one. Thank you, Ryan, for that one.
Chris's gay percentage goes up to 75% every time he eats a Twinkie. In the past year, he's been gayer than any other year by the looks of it.
God.
We talked a lot about the talk or the video in school. Nick educated us on the fact that there was no gay video. Sarah, was there a class for you and your sister-in-law?
Oh.
Now, Chris said that Emily's teacher used life-sized Barbie dolls. Chris, those are called fucking blow-up dolls, all right? Don't call them life-sized Barbie dolls. You can buy them in any adult store, okay?
This is an adult podcast. We can talk about it.
Yeah. It's little Barbie dolls, the life size with the holes in it, and you blow them up. Fucking blow up doll. Chris still uses the Barbie doll though. He doesn't need a blow up doll. The Barbie doll is big enough. Chris was impressed with the space available in an SUV to have sex. Chris, you've got a ton of space in a goddamn Mini Cooper. Guess you're little. Thank you, Ryan. Nick said that Grindr didn't work on a cruise ship. Unrelated. Sarah and her sister-in-law have canceled their cruise. This is
lightheaded.
okay.
I'm lightheaded.
Oh God. Ryan, I did it. Chris is drinking box wine tonight. If he doesn't get a hold of his ailments, he's going to be in a box himself. Okay. And listen, no, that's not in a coffin. That's super dark. I would never make a joke about death. No, Chris has more ailments than the dude from the Operation game.
Operation Box.
Chris, we talked a little bit about your new laugh. Chris makes that same laugh noise when sleeping. It's time for a CPAP fatty. And finally, we all agree and admit that we all have a little gay in us. And if Chris plays his cards right at the next LGBTQ plus meetup on the cruise, he may end up with a lot more. And those are my summaries.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Scott, for that. The summaries have turned into the fucking thesaurus. This is wow.
This was an easy one to come up with some, and Ryan helped me out on a bunch of them, of course.
Yeah, for some
but
reason,
it was funny when Ryan would text me, but I was already in the Twinkie joke. I was already in the process of writing something very similar.
I knew you were right. As I was saying, I'm like, oh, he's got this.
When you said Twinkie, I was like, oh, thank you. That was bump set spike. Okay, Chris, bump set spike is a volleyball term that taller people play. You know, it's a game that people play with.
I'm more of a digger. I can just dig. I can't do any of the rest. For some reason, I hope everyone else laughs during this. For some reason, whenever I end these episodes, my depression is worse. For some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, all right, guys, it's getting pretty late here. I have some Twinkies under my bed I gotta get to. So, on behalf of Nick, Sarah, Scott, and myself, we'll see you next week. So before we get off here, really sorry.
And when he says get off, he means turn the computer off. I'm not getting off tonight because I never get off. Nick will probably get. Sarah will be probably, or already has and will again.
Times, yeah.
Who knows?
I haven't seen Lois in a while.
This has been it's been 2 hours, Sarah.
There's plans in place.
She's like, I'm ovulating. Can we be done with this already? No New Friends After Dark has been brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. SandpiperVacations.com. Just check out our website, NoNewFriendsPodcast.com. Become a friend with benefits. Check out our sweet merch and so much more. This has been a No New Friends Entertainment LLC production.